All right, welcome back, guys. So we are now in week 5 of our virtual learning. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the brief rundown of what we are doing this week. So let me just go ahead and zoom in a little bit. All right, so today what you have is the 6B lesson video. So that's writing and solving two-step equations. The assignment you have this week is the MyHRW lesson assignment, and that's 6.4 that deals with this solving two-step equations, okay? On Monday, you're gonna have 7A, which is gonna be writing and solving one-step inequalities. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put a YouTube video for you guys of that. Someone else kind of teaching it to you or reviewing it over with you just to kind of give you a different viewpoint. Tuesday, you're gonna keep reviewing your solving equations and one-step inequalities. Wednesday is when we are going to have a test on solving equations and one-step inequalities. It's going to be a USA test prep test. So please be on the lookout for that. It will open up on Wednesday for you, okay? Same setup as it was for the quiz that we took. You have that day to take it. Take all the time you want in that day. This will be the only time you can take however much time you want during a test. And then Thursday, you're going to have your discussion number 3, and that's going to be on inequalities, okay? So we are going to go ahead and get started. All right. So zoom back out. So we are now dealing with writing your two-step inequalities, or sorry, two-step equations. Now we're just going into writing them. We're going to go ahead and solve the ones that we write just to get into that little bit of practice, so this video won't be as long for you guys and it'll be just a quick one. So here's an example. So we have Rashida owns a bike rental company. So she charges an initial fee. So I'm gonna write initial fee. And that is a $10 initial fee for each rental. So every time you rent a bike, you gotta pay $10, no ifs, ands, or buts. Now, she also has an hourly rate of $4. So now this is that one number that's gonna depend on how many hours you're actually planning on biking, okay? So when that number has to depend on another variable, that is the one that's gonna have obviously your variable. So you don't know how much hourly rate you're gonna be paying until you know how many hours you're going to be biking for. So if I wanted to write an equation just with this, right? So I'm gonna label my Y as the total amount that I'm going to be charging, or that Rashida is gonna be charging, and then everything else is going to just fall into place. So I'm gonna use X for my hours as well. So I have the total that I want. So I know that regardless, I'm gonna be paying $10 plus an hourly rate. Now it said, let's make X your hours. So I know that it's gonna be adding this $4 per hour to my initial fee, okay? So now we've written our two-step equation just by looking and reading an actual word problem, okay? So let's say I wanted to go ahead and solve this, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I am going to, you know what, let's not solve this. This is gonna be a different kind. Okay, but let's say that I wanted to know how much it would be after 2 hours, okay? So that means that I would take the same equation I have, but instead of using X, I'm gonna use 2. So 4 times 2 would give me 8. So that means that after biking for 2 hours, I'm gonna have to owe Rashida $18. So that was my initial fee, plus the 2 hours that I rode for $4 each, okay? So let's take another problem. Now, let's do this one. It says, the chess club has 50 members. They wanna raise $680, okay? So 680, and there's 50 members. The school will give $130. So that means that they're including in there $130 that's already been paid, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and set it up because I wanna know how much each of these members has to raise to be able to go for this competition. So my ending amount, where I need to get to, is at 680. So that means that that's gonna be all by itself on one side of my equal sign, okay? Now, I have 50 members that have to earn or raise X amount of dollars. I don't know how much each one of these members needs to raise, but I know that there's 50 of them. Now, it also says that the school is already gonna give $130. So that means that the money that these 50 students are gonna raise plus the 130 that the school is giving needs to equal out to the 680. So let's go ahead and solve from here. Remember that we always add or subtract before we multiply or divide. So that means that we're going to subtract this 130. That's gonna give me 550 and then 50x. Now from here, this is my last step. I'm gonna divide both sides by 50. So when I divide both sides by 50, I get 11, okay? Yeah, 11. So that means that each of those members needs to raise $11 at least, right? So that's what they have to do. Now, we're gonna do just some regular problems of solving two-step equations. So let's say I have negative 3x minus 5 equals 1. Okay? So remember, I need to isolate that variable because that's what I'm solving for. So I'm going to move this 5 to the other side by using my inverse operations. I get negative 3x equals 6. So that means now I get to divide both sides by a negative 3. That goes away and I'm left with x. 6 divided by negative 3 is going to give me a negative 2. Okay? So that's pretty much all that we're doing with 6b. So that is writing and solving two-step equations. Now, the biggest trouble that I remember you guys having was actually being able to put together an equation from a word problem. So remember, go ahead and write out your numbers. Write out the numbers that are given. Okay? Then find those context clues to tell you what operation you're using. And then you can pretty much put together any kind of equation that you need to. All right, so I will talk to you guys later. Do not forget about office hours again. Also, do not forget about your test that is going to be on Wednesday, okay? So that is Wednesday the 29th, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. Yeah, Wednesday the 29th. That is going to be on USA Test Prep. I am going to have an assignment up there in Google Classroom, and I will show the due date as the 29th, so you guys remember that, okay? But other than that, if you have any questions about how we put anything together, how we do the HRW, the 6.4 assignment, just let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.